So, hi, good day. Today we will be discussing the physical properties of soil. Again, the source for this discussion is the book entitled Principles of Geotechnical Engineering, 7th edition by Braha M. Das. First, let us have the specific gravity, or denoted by capital letter G with subscript S. So specific gravity is defined as the ratio of the unit weight of a given material to the unit weight of water. The specific gravity of soil solids is often needed for various calculations in soil mechanics. It can be determined accurately in the laboratory. So we have here a table with the different kinds of mineral and their corresponding specific gravity. Now, for us to be able to discuss the other physical properties of soil, let us explore the relationship between the volume and the density of soil. So we have here in the illustration, we have this rectangular image here is the soil sample, and on the right hand side is the still the represents the soil sample. However, we have here determined the fraction for air, for the water, and the solid. So for rectangle A, um, we only have the total weight and the total volume. But we know that soil or the soil sample or a volume of soil is not only composed of merely soil alone. So there are also other components in a soil sample which are um, the air, um, the water, and the soil solids themselves. So for this rectangle B, the portion for the solid, which is on the most bottom part of the rectangle, and the next one is the volume for water, or for the area or for the fraction occupied by water, and this on the top most of it is the area or the volume occupied by air. So we have here the total weight, or denoted by capital letter W, is the total weight of the soil sample. That includes the weight of the solid plus the weight of the water present in the soil. So we know, or as we can observe, the weight for the air is not included since we cannot weigh air man. So on the volume side, on the outermost right part of the rectangle B, we have the total volume. This part here, we can see that the volume of the total volume of the soil is composed of the volume of the total solids, or the soil solids, denoted by capital letter V with subscript S, representing S for solid. And we also have the volume for water, which is denoted by capital letter V with subscript W. And included now this time, the volume occupied by air is included in the computation for the total volume of the soil sample, denoted by capital letter V with subscript A. Because in the actual scenario, just like with the rectangle A, air is trapped between the particles of soil and the water. That's why it is included in the computation for the total volume of the soil solid. So we have to establish this diagram, or this drawing, or this relationship, so that we can come up, or we can proceed with the determination of the physical properties of our soil. So the first Physical property that we will be talking about is the void ratio, denoted by small letter. So, by the way, void ratio has no unit because if the unit for volume is cubic meter, so if we divide cubic meter by cubic meter, the units will cancel out, leaving our void ratio with no unit. So the next physical property of soil is the porosity, or denoted by small letter n. So porosity, or small letter n, is defined as the ratio of the volume of voids to the total volume. So kaganiha, ang void ratio is equal to volume of voids over the volume of solids. This time, porosity daw is equal to the volume of voids divided by the volume total. So, referring again to our rectangle B on the right side of this presentation, we have here the volume of voids, which is denoted by by capital letter V with subscript V, and the total volume, which is denoted by V alone. So we can observe here that the volume of voids is equal to um, the summation of two parts, which is volume of voids is equal to the volume of air and the volume of the water present in our soil. So you add those two, and then divide that by the total volume. You will come up with the value of your porosity. So um, for example, in a problem that we are asked to solve for the porosity, automatically we will be using this formula, which is equal to volume of voids over the volume total. So the porosity and the void ratio actually are somehow related. So you can, if you are given the value of your void ratio, you can solve for the value of your porosity. So that is equal to, porosity is equal to E, or void ratio, over 1 plus the void ratio. So how did we come up with this formula, or this relationship between the porosity and the void ratio? Starting off with the formula of our void ratio, which is equal to volume of voids over the volume of solids, wherein the volume of solid is equal to the volume total minus the volume of voids. And we know, simplifying this equation, we will come up with this one, and simplifying again the equation, we will come up with um, the formula of our void ratio E with respect to the value of our porosity, which is equal to N, void ratio this time. If you are going to solve for the void ratio using the value of the porosity, you will be using the formula E is equal to N over 1 minus N. So now if you are going to solve for the value of the porosity, in terms of the value of the void ratio, you will be using the formula N is equal to E over 1 plus E. So, baylo lang siya, no? Kung void ratio yung isolve, gamiton nimo ang value sa porosity minus ang iyang denominator, no? Kung ang porosity pa din mo isolve, using the value of the void ratio, addition pod ang functions sa atong denominator, no? So, muna siya ang relationship between the porosity and void ratio. So now, proceeding to another physical property of the soil is the degree of saturation, which is denoted by capital letter S. The degree of saturation, or capital letter S, is defined as the ratio of the volume of is the ratio of the volume of water to the volume of voids. So, kaning naka-blue din, no? So, degree of saturation is commonly expressed in percentage. So, ang atong answer sa degree of saturation is in percent. So, example for that is 30% degree of saturation or 50% degree of saturation. So, depende, no? So, in problems um, like those that are asking us to solve for the value of our degree of saturation, automatically we will be using this formula nga kanina naka-box na color blue, no? So which is equal to the volume of water over the volume of void. So as we have noticed, no, ang mga formula to determine the physical properties of soil, nagkatuyok-tuyok lang yun siya sa value sa atong total volume, volume of voids, volume of water, and volume of our air. So, referring to our rectangle B here on the right hand side of the presentation, we have the volume of water here, which is part of the volume of voids, pero this time, volume of water lang atong gamiton. And then, i-divide mo na siya sa volume of voids, which is the summation na of volume of air and the volume of water. So now another physical property of our soil is the moisture content, or denoted by small letter W. So moisture content. No? So in dealing with problems related to soil mechanics and the determination of the physical properties of soil and even the characteristics of soil, classifying soil, moisture content really plays a vital role. So kasagara may encounter yun natin. So, what is really moisture content? From the word itself, moisture or water content is also referred to as water content sometimes. Now, moisture content, the same lang na sila sa water content, is defined as the ratio of the weight of water to the weight of solids in a given volume of soil. So, kato sila kaganihan o puro sila deal or naga-use with or gonna refer sa volume sa atong soil sample. This time, for the moisture content, dito na punta sa weight ko, no, sa soil. So, para ma-determine nato kung how much water is present in the soil sample, we will have to divide the volume of our water over the weight, the weight of the water, sorry, over the weight of the solid. So how do we know the weight of our water? So in just a brief explanation on how do we um, get the weight of our water from our soil sample is that um, the moist soil sample that we have obtained from the field will be weighed. So timbangan na siya. And then after timbang, i-record to siya. And then isulod din siya sa oven hantod sa mauga siya until its weight becomes constant, no? So ang pag-monitor nga zero moisture na siya. So ang katong moist soil, i-oven siya para mauga siya totally, like wala na jud siya water. So ipaghuman na niya og kauga, like sure na gid ka nga wala na jud siya moisture, wala na jud siya water, meaning magsigi ka og record sa iyahang weight from time to time. Kung mag-constant na gali na ang weight sa imong sigig balik-balik siya sa oven, meaning wala na gid siya water, meaning wala na gid siya mas ikauga pa. So kato siya nga weight mo to imong dry weight of soil. If you are going to subtract, siyempre mas gamay gid to siya o timbang kaysa atong moist soil. So kung imo tong i-minus kung imuhang i-minus ang weight sa dry soil from the weight of the moist soil, mao tong amount of water nga present ana nga soil wherein which is mao pud tong nawala nga water during sa imong pagpauga. So mo tong determine sa weight of water, no? And then the weight of solid is katong oven dried weight. Usually ginatawag na siya oven dried weight kay mo na gid to siya ang amount of soil solids ato nga soil sample. So wala na gid to siya air, wala na to siya although na siya air pero wala na siya water. So i-ratio nimo ang weight of water over weight of solid, mao na siya ang amount of water or the moisture content in your soil sample. So another physical property of soil is the unit weight. So almost all, maybe if not, but majority of the problems being dealt with in soil mechanics has to use or has something to do with the unit weight of the soil sample and study. So our unit weight is equal to the ratio of the weight over volume. So meaning it is the weight of the soil sample under or present, or is the total weight of the soil sample per unit volume. So all you have to do is divide the weight of the total soil sample with with its total volume. So that is denoted by gamma, no, unit weight. Although there are at least three types of unit weight, which is the moist unit weight or unit weight lang. So when you say unit weight, automatically that is interpreted as the moist unit weight of the soil sample. We also have the dry unit weight, which is the unit weight of the dried sample, and the saturated unit weight. So we will be discussing that in the succeeding slide. So now, as what I have said, we have the dry unit weight or denoted by gamma with subscript D, no? So D meaning dry. So muna iyang pasabot sa dry unit weight or gamma D. So unit weight dry or dry unit weight is the weight per unit volume of soil excluding water is referred to as the dry unit weight. So muna yung formula, no? Um, comparing this to our moist unit weight, ang katong moist unit weight meaning the unit weight of the soil nga naa pa siya gamay nga water nga kauban niya, no, nakamix ayaha, whereas ang kaning dry unit weight gi gi-eliminate na nato ang water, no. So after eliminating water due to using oven drying soil sample or other methods, the unit weight of that is what we call na the dry unit weight. So as we have observed here, no, weight of solids over weight of over volume of or the total volume, wherein comparing that to the moist unit weight, ang iyang formula for its unit weight is total weight over the total volume. Sa gamma dry or sa dry unit weight, ang gamiton nato nga weight is ang sa weight lang sa solid without the water, no? And dividing that by the total volume of the soil sample. So pwede pod, no, nga natay simplified nga formula for our gamma dry, or muna siya usually ang ginagamit sa field, no. Gamma dry is equal to gamma moist or gamma lang, which is motong kaganihan, no, tong unit weight sa atong moist soil over 1 plus moisture content um, if given the value of the moisture content. Pero kung given is the weight of solids na diretso, so then we would have to use the value for our weight of solids. And if given pod, no, ang value of our volume, we will be using this formula. Pero on the other hand, if the problem that we are asked to solve wherein we are asked to solve for unit weight dry or gamma dry, and the given is the moist unit weight and the moisture content, then we will be using this simplified formula. Nagyapan ang density kay nana siya raw, and then ang dry density na yapan siya subscript nga small natin. So the densities are similar siya sa unit weight, pero which is equal to weight over volume, pero this time mass lang yung gamiton. A unit example for mass is kilogram. For weight, we have the kilonewton. So what if kilogram ang given or density gyud ang gipangita sa problem, dili ang unit weight? So at least we would be able to know if the problem is asking us to solve for the density of the soil, then we will be using the mass of the soil and not the weight of the soil, and same lang gyapon i-divide gyapon nato na siya og the total volume of the soil. So sa kaning formula no, automatically if we are asked to solve for the density or the dry density of the soil, then automatically mo na siya nga mga formula natong gamiton, wherein our density is equal to mass over volume, and our density or dry density is equal to the mass of solids over the total volume. So now, since na-establish naman nato no, kung unsa gyud ang unit weight, void ratio, ang moisture content, and specific gravity of the soil, let us also explore the relationship between these properties. So in some cases, manggod, if we are asked to solve for the unit weight, nga ang given lang is void, di ba? We know that the unit weight is equal to the total weight over the total volume. So what if dili siya given no sa problem nga atong gina-solve? Ang ang given lang is ang the value for void ratio, moisture content, and specific gravity, or any of these three. So maunang explore pa nato ilang relationship. So the weight of solids daw is equal to the specific gravity and the gamma of water, or the unit weight of water. So again, for us to be able to proceed or to understand the succeeding slides, let us first establish these following formulas for our weight of solids and the weight of water. So we know the specific gravity is the ratio between the unit weight of a substance or a material to the unit weight of water. So transforming that formula, getting with getting the weight of solids on the left side of the equation, and then leaving or simplifying the formula for specific gravity, we will come up with this one. So kaning pinakauna no, which now gives us the weight of solids daw is equal to the specific gravity of the solids times the unit weight of water. Another also, we know that moisture content, or small letter w, is equal to the weight of water over weight of solids. So simplifying that formula, getting the equation for our weight of water from that equation for moisture content, that will give us the value or the equation for our weight of water, which is equal to the moisture content times the weight of solids. Now, the weight of solids, as previously on the above equation, we can see that weight of solids is equal to the specific gravity of solids times the unit weight of water. So, finally, getting the equation for our weight of water is now equal to the moisture content of soil times the specific gravity times the unit weight of water. So, to obtain relationship among unit weight, void ratio, and moisture content, let us consider a volume of soil in which the volume of the soil solids is 1. So as shown here, kaning Vs sa atong diagram no, on the volume side, which is on the right, Vs, or the volume of solid, is equal to 1. So ato lang sa ato siyang i-set equal to 1 so that we can explore the relationship among the unit weight, void ratio, moisture content, and specific gravity. So if the volume of the soil solids is equal to 1, then the volume of voids is equal to E lang siya, no? Ato siyang iset as the volume of voids is equal to the void ratio, which is equal to E. So that if the volume of solid is equal to 1 and then the volume of voids is equal to E, then our total volume is equal to 1, which is the volume of the solids, plus E, which is the volume of our void. So now, still exploring the relationship between the unit weight, void ratio, moisture content, and specific gravity. We have here on the topmost right of the presentation in box colored red. So mo ni siya kagani katong atong gisolve no or gi-transform lang nga mga formula. So karon since ang atong nabalaan nga formula for our unit weight is just simply gamma is equal to the total weight over the total volume. So how do we transform that in terms of the void ratio, the moisture content, and specific gravity kay basin sa example or sa there are problems na will not give the total weight or the total volume of the solids. However, they will only give the value for the moisture content and the specific gravity and the void ratio, and then you will be asked to solve for the unit weight. So, same lang gyapon, the formula for a unit weight is equal to the total weight over the total volume. However, we know that the total weight is equal to the weight of solids plus the weight of water. And we know that from the formula that we have transformed earlier, weight of solids is equal to the specific gravity times the unit weight of water, and weight of water is equal to the moisture content times the specific gravity times the unit weight of water. And we know, as we have established on the first part of this problem, for us to be able to explore the relationship between these properties, volume of voids is equal to 1 plus E. Since sa kaninga explanation there, no? We know that the total volume is equal to the volume of the solids plus the volume of voids. And in this scenario, we have set the value for our volume of solids equal to 1, leaving the value of our voids equal to E. So simplifying that, we will come up with the formula of our unit weight in terms of void ratio, moisture content, and specific gravity, which now is equal to the um, the product between the one plus moisture content and the product of the specific gravity and the unit weight of water over 1 plus E. So, kabalo naman tanong, W is moisture content, GS or G sub S is the specific gravity, and gamma W is gamma water. So, muna siya itong unit weight water which is already given or constant, sorry. So, now, for the dry unit weight, we know that as discussed in the previous formula, gamma dry or dry unit weight is equal to the weight of solids alone minus the total volume. And we know this time the weight of solids can be expressed using the value of our specific gravity and the unit weight of water. And for this case, we have set the value of our volume of solids equal to 1 and the volume of voids equal to E. Samo na siyang ang V na himong 1 plus E. Kaya ang 1 dara volume of solids, ang E volume of voids. So now our formula for dry unit weight in terms of the other physical properties of soil is equal to the specific gravity of the soil times the unit weight of water over 1 plus the void ratio. So the void ratio can also be expressed in terms of the other physical properties of soil, which is now become equal to the specific gravity of soil times the unit weight of water over the dry unit weight minus 1. So if given problems, we are asked to solve for unit weight, dry unit weight, and the void ratio, and we are given with the values of our void ratio, moisture content, and specific gravity, mo ni sila nga mga formula ang atong gamiton. So because the weight of the soil element under consideration is muna siyang moisture content, specific gravity of the soil, and the unit weight of water, the volume occupied by water now becomes, we know that the volume of water is equal to the weight of water over the unit weight of water. So, simplifying that formula, no, okay, we have here the value for, or the formula for our weight of water is now equal to moisture content times the specific gravity times the unit weight of water. So, canceling unit weight of water, we would end up with just moisture content on the specific gravity. So volume of water now can be solved or could be equal to the moisture content times the specific gravity of the solids. So from the definition of the degree of saturation, which is equal to the volume of water over the volume of voids. Since ang volume sa atong water is now equal to moisture content times the specific gravity, and for this case, our volume of voids has been made equal to the void ratio. So ang volume of voids dere mahimo na lang siyang E. So simplifying that, we will come up with the formula SE, or saturation, the S, and the void ratio E is equal to the of the moisture content times the specific gravity of soil. So now, with the same scenario wherein atong volume of solids is equal to 1 and our volume of voids is equal to E, no? For those of you who might have wondered nga nang gisat nato siya. Gisat nato siya in atong scenario, in atong case, so that we will be able to establish this formula. So proceeding, if the soil is saturated, meaning basa daw siya, no? May pasabot ana, wherein S is equal to 1, the value for our saturated unit weight, or gamma sat, is equal to the total weight, or the total saturated weight over the total volume, wherein the total weight is equal to the weight of the soil plus the weight of water over the total volume. So kani siya, weight of solid is equal to the kaning naa sa upper right corner, no, which is equal to the specific gravity times the unit weight of water plus the volume of weight of water, which is now equal to, as indicated in the previous slides, weight of water is equal to void ratio times the unit weight of water. Tapos ang total volume in this case, we have set ato siyang gi-equal to 1 plus E, wherein ang 1 is the volume solids plus the void ratio equal to E. So now our gamma sat, or our saturated unit weight in terms of the void ratio, moisture content, and specific gravity is now equal to this formula right here. Kaya nakauna nga rectangle na color blue, no? Which is equal to the specific gravity plus E times, and you would have to multiply that to the unit weight of water and divide that with 1 plus the void ratio. So if the problem is asking us to solve for the saturated unit weight, unya ang given kay specific gravity, specific gravity o void ratio, or sometimes dili na ihatag ang value for the unit weight of water because it is constant. So automatically mo nga formula atong gamiton. So since S is equal to 1 sa kaning formula, no, kaning SE is equal to moisture content times the specific gravity, since ang atong S daw is 1 kay saturated man daw siya, no, given na siya. Our word ratio now becomes now equal to the moisture content times the specific gravity. Since kaganihan, no, ato man yun siyang gi-discuss separately, ang unit weight ug ang density, ang kalainan sa duha pareha ra man gid sila. Ang kalainan na gid sa duha is for the unit weight atong gigamit diri is the weight of the soil, wherein ang density ang atong gigamit didto is mass. So meaning in terms of its units, no, uh, ang sa unit weight sa unit weight, ang ginagamit nato nga unit dari for the weight of the solids or the weight of the soil, basta ang unit sa atong weight na ginagamit diri is in kilonewton, where in on the other hand kaning naa sa kilid no, kaning naka-box on red, densities na siya, wherein muna siya ang product kung ang atong gamiton nga unit for our mass is in kilogram. So, mga kalainan sa mass o sa weight, no? So, pareha lang gyapon. Unit weight, muna ang formula, no? Kaning first box nga color blue. Tapos, kung density ang gina-refer sa problem, ang atong alisdan lang diri is ang part rasad sa unit weight. So, for example, here, rho, which is representing the density. So, diri sa PICAS, no? Comparing that sa kanyang katungod, which is the unit weight, which is equal to gamma. So we can see or we can observe nga the same ra gyud ang formula except sa kaning unit weight sa water. Kung mag-solve tag density sa solid or sa soil, ang atong gamiton is the density pud sa water. No? So, dili pod sa ubos, ang kaning sa dry unit weight ug kaning sa dry density, same ra gyapon sila formula. Pero kung um, dry unit weight imong gina-solve, imong gamiton is unit weight pud sa water. Kung dry density sa soil imong i-solve, imong gamiton is density pod sa water. So, pareha ra gyapon diri no. Kung unit weight imong gina-solve, so meaning unit weight po sa water. Kung density po dapat sa water ang imong gamiton. So, just like this one no, sa saturated unit weight, the same lang yung formula sa saturated density. Ang kaliinan lang yun is that for saturated density computation, we will be using the density of water. So now, mana naman to ganiyang void ratio, moisture content, and specific gravity, and unit weight, no? At this time, ato pong establish ang relationship between the unit weight, porosity, and moisture content. So, nga man. So, there are problems nga ang given lang is the porosity and the moisture content. And then, for example, we are asked to solve for the unit weight. So, what if walay specific gravity, walay void ratio? So how do we solve the problem? So that's why we have to explore or we have to establish the relationship between these three. So the relationship among these three, unit weight, porosity, and moisture content, can be developed in a manner similar to to that presented in the preceding section. So muni kaganyan no, ang kaning naka-box o color black, muni ang kaganiha nga atong pag-establish sa unit weight, void ratio, specific gravity, and moisture content. So, karon para ma-establish nato ang relationship na pod sa unit weight, porosity, and moisture content, ato na pong i-equal or i-set ang total volume to 1. Kaganiha, katong first relationship no, ang atong gi-equal to 1 is the volume of solids lang. This time, para ma-establish nato ang relationship between unit weight, porosity, and moisture content, ang total volume na ang atong gi-set equal to 1. So, if the volume of voids is now equal to n, kaganiha, ang volume of voids is equal to E, which is the void ratio. So, this time, atong i-establish lang ang volume of voids is equal to n, and since the total volume is equal to 1, so ang volume of solids, which is equal to the volume of voids equal to 1, volume total rather is equal to 1 minus the volume of voids now equal to n. So since the total volume is equal to 1, then the volume of the soils or the volume of solids is equal to 1 minus n. So the weight of the soil solids, which is W sub S, and the weight of the water or W sub W will now become this one. So mabadungagan na siya no. Kaganiha man gud nag-focus lang ta sa relationship between the unit weight and the void ratio, specific gravity, and the moisture content. So, diri, ato makita is, dili na nato makita ang void ratio. So, kasagara is porosity na. So, our weight of solids now become specific gravity times the unit weight of water times 1 minus n. So, nanay present sa atong porosity. And the weight of water is now equal to the moisture content times the specific gravity times the unit weight of water times 1 minus n. So, since ina naman ang mga value, no, our dry unit weight will now become, so we know that the formula for our gamma dry is equal to the weight of solids over the total volume, wherein karon ang atong weight of solids, incorporating porosity into the picture or into the equation, we now have the weight of solid equal to the specific gravity times the unit weight of water times 1 minus n over 1, because in this scenario or in this relationship, we have to equate the total volume to 1. So simplifying that equation, we now have the formula for our dry unit weight in terms of porosity equal to the specific gravity of soil times the unit weight of water times 1 minus n. So same thing with the moist unit weight, which is, we know, equal to the total weight of the soil solids, of the soil in general, which is equal to the weight of solids plus the weight of water over the total volume. So simplifying that, we will come up with simplifying that through substituting the values or the equation for our weight of solids and weight of water diri sa pinakauna, no, nga discussion. So incorporating that here or substituting that here and simplifying, we will come up with the formula for our moist unit weight in terms of porosity equal to the specific gravity of solids times the weight of water times 1 minus n times 1 plus moisture content. So, magamit mi siya, what if lugar ang problem is, nag-require sa ato nga ma-solve for dry unit weight or moist unit weight, and then given is porosity lang and the specific gravity as well as the moisture content, sa mo ni siya nga formula ang atong gamitan. So, if ang given does not have the value for porosity, then dili pa siya gamiton nga formula. So, since kaganihan na gibutang pod nato ang situation kung saturated ang soil which is equal to 1, so mo lang pod ni siya atong gamiton. So, gamma sat is equal to the saturated weight over the total volume. So, ipang substitute lang yapon ang formula for our weight of solids and the weight of water sa katong kaganihang slide, no? And simplifying that, we will come up with the value or the equation of our saturated unit weight equal to 1 minus n. Imo na siya i-multiply with the specific gravity, and then i-add nimo ang porosity i-times na din nimo ang unit weight sa water. So, moisture content this time will also change, and in terms of porosity, no, in the equation. So we know that moisture content is equal to the weight of water over the weight of solid. So substituting the formula for our weight of water, muna siya, no? And then the weight of solid sand. And simplifying that, we will come up with the equation for our moisture content in terms of porosity, which is now equal to n over 1 minus n times specific gravity. So, ayan na siya panggamiton ng formula, no? Kung we are asked to solve for the gamma sat or the moisture content of our soil, given ang porosity lang o ang specific gravity. And of course, the unit weight of water kay constant na siya. So to somehow sum up all the formula that have been discussed, no, mao ni siya. So you can find this on the book by Braha M. Das, which is the 7th edition of the Principles of Geotechnical Engineering. And also, you can also maybe find this on the internet if you search for the relationship of the unit weight and the volume, so, and the other physical properties of soil. So as you can see na medyo dagan yun ang formula nga gamito nun. Depende siya sa given. So for example, the moist unit weight here, we have the column for the given. So magdepende gyud ang imong formula or ang relationship nga imong gamiton, depende gyud siya permente sa given sa problem. Kay dili man pare-pareha ang given sa kada problem. So mag-adjust ang formula nga imong gamiton. So dito lang din ka mamili sa asa nga relationship or asa nga equation ang pwede nimo gamiton sa ana ang given. I think that would be all. So thank you so much and have a great day.